Good evening, students. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the third session of Atoms and Molecules chapter. In this session, we will discuss two important topics. The last topics of this chapter actually, that is valency. One is valency and how to write chemical formula. This one and a little bit about mole concept, molecular mass, and the chapter will complete. Already two lectures were posted in this chapter regarding this chapter in this channel. This is the last session and we will give some concept of valency, molecular mass. We will solve some numericals and the chapter will complete. So let's start. First one is your valency. First one comes, that is valency. Now what is valency? Valency is actually the combining power of an element. It is actually the combining power or combining capacity. That is how elements or how atom or ion combine with each other. The combining capacity or combining power is known as its valency. Clear? So it is basically the combining capacity or power, combining capacity or power of an element combining capacity or power of an element. It is known as valency. Now valency can be used to find out how many atoms of an element will combine with the atoms of another element. Valency, it is used or it can be used to find out how many atoms of an element will combine with the atoms of another element to form a chemical compound. The valency of an atom is actually, or more precisely, the valency of an ion is equal to the charge on the ion. That means if we say suppose sodium ion, there is the formula of sodium ion is Na plus. So valency of sodium is considered as +1 because only single charge is present over sodium atom. If we consider suppose chloride ion, that is Cl minus, so valency of Cl will be treated as -1 because only one single charge is present over chlorine atom. That means the valency of an ion is equal to the charge on the ion. That is, the charge on the ion is actually the valency. The charge on the ion, whether it is positive or negative, the charge on the ion is its valency. Clear? So it is basically the combining power or combining capacity of an element. Now we will study the various ions and the charge on them and their valencies. So make a heading, that is valency. Ion of metallic element, ion of metallic element, their symbols. Now see, metallic element, and it can be non-metallic also. It can be metallic or it can be non-metallic also. Non-metallic, it can be metallic and can be non-metallic also. Clear? So the first one, that is symbol. Suppose first one, suppose sodium. Sodium. So symbol, if it is ion, sodium ion, so symbol will be Na plus. That is single charge is present, so valency will be 1. Next comes suppose potassium. So potassium, that is K plus. So single charge is present, valency is 1. Next one, silver. For symbol, silver is Ag and ion, that is plus. So valency is 1 because only one charge is present. Next, suppose copper 1 because copper has variable valency. Now what is variable valency and what is fixed valency? So valency is actually two types. One is fixed valency and one is variable valency. So valency are of actually two types. One is fixed valency and another one is variable valency. Now fixed valency is some metals or non-metals or ions have fixed charge over them. Fixed charge. They are known as fixed valency. So fixed charge means, suppose sodium, always only single charge is present over sodium atom. For example, chlorine, always minus atom, always minus ion, that is only single minus charge is present over chlorine atom. So Na plus Cl minus. Or example, suppose silver, Ag plus, only one single plus charge is present over silver atom. So these are actually fixed valency, that is number of charge is always fixed over these atoms, so they are known as fixed valency. But in case of variable valency, the number of charge, that is plus or minus, is vary. They can be varied, they are not fixed. For example, in case of copper 2 plus is also found, copper 1 plus is also found, that is copper plus is also found. That means over copper metal plus 2 is present, or sometimes plus only single charge can be present. Single charge can be present over copper atom, or 2 plus charge can be present over copper atom, depending on the element they form. For example, iron, 3 plus can be over iron atom, 2 plus also can be over iron atom. That means the valency of Fe can be 3, the valency of Fe can be 2. That means Fe shows variable valency. Its valency is 2 as well as its valency can be 3, depending upon the forming element, Fe forms. In some element or some compound, the valency of Fe is 3 plus, or in some compound the valency of Fe is plus 2, depending upon the nature of the element, or depending upon how Fe forms compound with another element. Clear? So these comes under variable valency, and these are fixed valency. Clear? So the like same wise, copper, its valency is 1. That is, if the metal or non-metal shows variable valency, the valency should be written in the Roman form using a bracket if it shows variable valency. And if it has fixed valency, then no need to write numbers in Roman form in bracket. But if it shows variable valency, the valency should be written in Roman form using a bracket. So copper has variable valency, because copper can be found as Cu2 plus, and it can also be found as Cu plus, depending upon the type of compound copper forms. That means copper has variable valency. The valency can be plus 2, its valency can be plus 1. Now here it clearly mentions that copper has valency 1 here. So that means its formula will be Cu plus, so valency will be 1 here, because only one single charge is present. So these are valencies of sodium plus, potassium plus, silver plus and copper plus. Now next, if suppose it says magnesium ion, formula will be Mg plus 2, so its valency will be 2, because plus 2 charge, so number of charge is 2, so valency will be 2. Next, calcium. Next one is calcium, so formula of calcium ion is Ca2 plus, so its also valency will be 2. Next one, iron. So iron 2, because iron can be found as Fe2 plus, and it can also be found as Fe3 plus. That means it has a variable valency. So its valency, iron's valency of iron can be 2, valency of iron can be 3. So it is a variable valency. That means the valency should be written in Roman form. If it is variable valency, if it shows variable valency, so here its valency will be Fe2 plus. That means valency will be 2, because 2 is written in Roman form in bracket. So that means iron formula will be Fe2 plus. If it is 3, then it will be 3 plus, like this. Clear? So then its valence will be 3. So these are the valencies of some ions. Next, suppose phosphate. So formula will be PO4 3 minus, so valency will be 3, because phosphate formula PO4 3 minus, valency will be 3. Next one, suppose nitrite, so its formula will be N3 minus, so valency will be 3, like this. So in your NCERT textbook or in any reference book, you can find that there is a chart given of some ions, some cations, some anions and some elements, and their valencies are given. These are some important elements, metals and non-metals. their valencies and their symbols are given and in your NCERT textbook and in any reference book. For example, you can find in all-in-one, or you can find in Dinesh textbook, or even in S. Chand. You can find in any reference book there are chart given showing valencies and their symbol, their formulas. So learn all those symbols, clear, because these are very helpful in determining the chemical formula, which I will discuss in the next part 2 or 3 minutes later. So these are some important valencies and symbols of some metals and non-metal elements, clear. Next, using these valencies and atomic mass of elements, we will study or we will learn how to write formula of chemical compounds or how to write formula of chemical elements. So writing formula of compounds, writing formula of compounds. So a compound name will be given, and using that compound name we have to find out the chemical formula of that compound. So first, very simple, I will start with a simple example. Suppose hydrogen chloride, number 1 given, hydrogen chloride. So we will first write symbol and then we will write its charge, or you can write valency also, symbol, or you can write valency, clear. Next, hydrogen chloride. So hydrogen and chloride, so symbol will be hydrogen and chloride symbol is Cl. Now valency of hydrogen is 1 plus 1 and Cl valency will be minus 1, clear. Now plus and minus, these are actually the these actually shows if it is cation or it is anion. If it is plus, then it is cation, and if it is minus, it is anion. So you can write plus and minus, or you can even ignore it. You can write or you can even ignore it. Now symbol of hydrogen, symbol of chlorine is Cl. Their valencies are given, because these valencies you can easily find out this valency using those valency chart, that is the cations and anions chart, where the charges of each atom, that is be it cation or be it anion or be it metal or non-metal, they are given. From here, there you can easily find out the charge or valency of each element. So now hydrogen will take up the valencies of chlorine and chlorine will take up the valency of hydrogen. Hydrogen will take up the valency of chlorine and chlorine will take up the valency of hydrogen. That means valency of chlorine is 1, so it will take up the valency of chlorine will take up the valency of hydrogen and hydrogen will take up the valency of chlorine. That means it is a cross multiply, simply cross multiply, clear. Next, so formula will be HCl, because if hydrogen is taking up valency of chlorine and chlorine is taking up the valency of hydrogen, that means H1, the formula should be H1 and Cl1, because chlorine valency of chlorine is 1 and valency of hydrogen is also 1, so the formula should be H1 Cl1. Now we have to find out this formula in simplest ratio. Always remember, we will find out the formula in simplest ratio. So that means 1 will reduce and the formula will be HCl, that is hydrogen chloride. So like this we will find formula of some simple compounds. So this is the case for number 1, it is very easy. Next, number 2. Suppose given calcium oxide, number 2, calcium oxide. So again write symbol and valency. So calcium symbol is Ca and oxide symbol is oxygen. Now valency of calcium is plus 2, because calcium always found in Ca2 plus form, calcium Ca2 plus ion. So valency of calcium is +2. Clear? Next, valency of oxide. Valency of oxide is -2, because oxide always found in O2 minus. This is oxide. Clear? That means valency is -2. Now formula. The formula will be, so cross. That means Ca will take up the valency of oxygen, oxygen will take up the valency of Ca. So formula will be Ca2O2. Ca will take up valency of oxygen, oxygen will take up the valency of calcium. That means Ca2O2. That means, or CaO. That means 2 will reduce, formula will be CO. This is the formula, CaO, not this. Always remember, we will clear the formula in simplest ratio. That means 2 will reduce. So formula will be CO. This is the formula of calcium oxide. Next, another one, number 3rd. Suppose we have to find out formula of sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. So first symbol and then valency. So sodium means symbol is Na, valency will be +1. Carbonate formula is CO3 and valency will be -2, because carbonate always occur as CO3 2-. This is carbonate. Clear? Now formula will be cross multiply. So formula will be Na2 and CO3. That means formula will be Na2CO3. This is the formula of sodium carbonate. Clear? Now this 2 and 3 will not reduce. That means it will remain in as usual. So Na2CO3 is the final formula of sodium carbonate. Next, number 4. Suppose ammonium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate. So symbol, first write symbol and then valency. Clear? So ammonium formula symbol will be NH4 and valence will be +1, because ammonium ion means NH4 plus. This is the formula of ammonium ion. That means valence will be 1, because only single charge is present over NH4. So valence will be 1. Next, sulfate. Sulfate formula is SO4. Sulfate formula is SO4 and valency is -2, because sulfate means this is the sulfate ion. This is the sulfate ion. Clear? So valence will be -2. Now cross multiply. So formula will be NH4 will take up the valency of sulfate. So it will so 2, that means we will use bracket and write 2 in suffix, and SO4 will take up the valency of NH4, so only 1, so SO4. So formula will be NH4 whole to SO4, because SO4 is taking up the valency of NH4, so you can use bracket and write 1 here, because it is taking up the valency of NH4. But 1 you can write 1, or you cannot write 1, because 1 it is, you can use bracket and write 1, or just make it like simple. So NH4 whole to SO4 is the final formula of ammonium sulfate. Clear? Next, number 5. Number 5, suppose it is given tin oxide, tin 4 and oxide. Now we will use symbol and valency. Clear? So here see, the 4 is written using a bracket. That means it shows a variable valency. Whenever using a bracket, any Roman letter is written after the metal or non-metal, always remember that it is a variable valency. That means tin shows a variable valency. Clear? Actually the formula of or symbol of tin is Sn. Clear? So Sn can be 2 plus and Sn can be 4 plus. This is the ionic form of tin depending on the type of compound tin forms. So its valency can be +2 and its valency can be +4. That means tin shows a variable valency. But here 4 is written. That means here valency of tin will be 4, because here specifies that the tin is in 4 plus valency state. So here the valency of tin will be 4. Next, oxide. So oxide symbol will be O and it will be -2, and tin it will be +4, because oxide means O2 minus. Clear? Now cross multiply, that means formula will be SN2O4, SN2O4, or 2 and 4 will reduce, so final formula will be SNO2. Final formula will be SNO2, because 2 2s are 4, it will reduce, so SNO2 will be the final formula, because we will use simplest ratio form to deduce the final formula. Clear? So SNO2 will be the formula of tin 4 oxide. So like this we will deduce formula of some chemical compounds. Is very easy. All we have to do is to remember the ionic form, their valencies, and their symbol and atomic mass. Clear? So atomic mass chart and valency chart of their respective ions, cationic form and anionic form, you can easily find out in your NCERT book or in any reference book. We will have to go through those very meticulously so that we can deduce the formula of this chemical compound. Clear? Next concept is molecular mass. Molecular mass. What is molecular mass? Now, what is molecular mass? Molecular mass, actually it is a molecular mass of a substance is the sum of the atomic mass of all the atoms in a molecule. Now molecular mass, that means it is connected with a molecule. Molecular mass, that means it is related to molecule. Like atomic mass, whenever atomic mass is related to atom, atomic mass is related to atom. Likewise molecular mass related to molecule. So molecular mass of a substance is the sum of the atomic masses of all the atoms in a molecule of the substance. That means molecule means combination of atoms. So in a molecule there are various atoms. In a molecule there are various atoms. That means molecule is actually the combination of atoms. So molecular mass is the molecular mass of any substance is the sum of the atomic masses of all the atoms concerned or all the atoms present in the molecule. That is the molecular mass. That means it is a sum of the atoms present in the molecule or sum of the atomic masses present in the molecule. So molecular mass is the sum of the atomic masses, sum of the atomic masses of all the atoms, sum of the atomic masses of all the atoms in a molecule of the substance, in a molecule of the substance. For example, suppose H2O. So there is two types of atom present, one is hydrogen and one is oxygen, and total number of atoms is 3, because number of hydrogen atom is 2 and number of oxygen atom is 1. That means total number of atom is 3. Total number of atoms will be 3. So the molecular mass of H2O or molecular mass of water will be the sum of the atomic masses of hydrogen and oxygen. That will be the molecular mass of water. So if we calculate the molecular mass of water, we have to calculate the atomic mass of hydrogen and atomic mass of oxygen. Now atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. Atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 because in the previous lecture I have provided a chart, that is the atomic mass of different elements. So they go through the lecture 2 or second session of this chapter, and you will find that there is a chart given where I have provided the atomic masses of different elements. So from there you can easily find out that atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. So atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. That means if we say one hydrogen atom, its atomic mass will be 1 U, or you can write 1 AMU. Clear? Listen carefully. Atomic mass of one hydrogen atom is 1 unit or 1 AU. So here two hydrogen atom is present. So total atomic mass of two hydrogen atom will be 2 into 1 U. That means 2U. So it will be 2 into 1 plus. Now only one oxygen atom is present, and atomic mass of one oxygen atom is 16U. That means only one oxygen atom is present. That means plus 16. So it will be 2 plus 16 U. That means 18U. So 18U is the sum of the atomic masses of all the atoms present in H2O molecule. That means molecular mass of H2 will be 18U. So like this we can easily calculate of molecular masses of different compounds or different substances. For example, suppose ammonia formula is NH3. So total number of atoms will be 3 hydrogen atom and 1 nitrogen atom. That means total number of atoms will be 4. Clear? So atomic mass of nitrogen, that is 1 nitrogen, and atomic mass of 3 hydrogen. The sum of these atomic masses will be the molecular mass of ammonia or molecular mass of NH3. Now total this molecular mass will be atomic mass of nitrogen atom. Atomic mass of nitrogen atom, or more precisely atomic mass of 1 nitrogen. Atomic mass of 1 nitrogen is 14. That means 14 plus atomic mass of 1 hydrogen atom is 1U. So 3 hydrogens are present. That means 1 into 3 U. So 14 plus 3U, that means 17U. So molecular mass of NH3 or ammonia will be 17U. Now HCl. Suppose another one example, HCl. Molecular mass of hydrogen chloride. So here 2 atoms is present, 1 hydrogen and 1 chlorine. So if we want to calculate the molecular mass of hydrogen chloride, we have to calculate the atomic mass of hydrogen and atomic mass of chlorine and then add these 2 atomic masses. So we can easily calculate the molecular mass of HCl or hydrogen chloride. Now 1 hydrogen atom is present. So atomic mass of 1 hydrogen atom is 1 and atomic mass of 1 chlorine atom is 35.5. This is the atomic mass of 1 chlorine atom. You can easily find out in chart. So add 36.5 U. So atomic mass of HCl will be 36.5 U, or you can say the molecular mass of hydrogen chloride or HCl will be 36.5 U. This is the decimal. Here this is the decimal. Clear? 36.5. Next, molecular mass of suppose sulfur dioxide, SO2. Molecular mass of sulfur dioxide. So here 1 sulfur atom is present and 2 oxygen atom is present. So if we want to calculate the molecular mass of sulfur dioxide, that means atomic mass of sulfur we should know and atomic mass of oxygen. Now atomic mass of sulfur is 32. That means 1 sulfur atom, that is atomic mass of 1 sulfur atom is 32 and 1 oxygen atom is 16. That means 2 oxygen atom, that means 2 into 16 U. That means 32 plus this is 32U, that means 64U. So molecular mass of SO2 or sulfur dioxide will be 64U. So like this we can easily calculate the molecular masses of different substances. Clear? Next, so this is all about molecular mass. Next concept, formula unit mass. What is formula unit mass? Formula unit mass. What is formula unit mass? Now formula unit mass, it is actually the sum of the atomic masses of all the atoms present in the formula unit of a compound. It is the sum of the atomic masses of all the atoms present in a formula unit of a compound. So the definition is, it is the sum of the atomic masses. It is the sum of the atomic masses of all atoms present in a formula unit of a compound. Formula unit of a compound. Now formula unit mass, it is the sum of the atomic masses of all atoms present in a formula unit of a compound. Clear? Now formula unit mass, this formula unit mass is actually calculated on the same manner as we have calculated the molecular mass. Like we have calculated the molecular mass, in the same way we can calculate the formula unit mass. It is actually more or less the same. Formula unit mass is actually the more or less same as the molecular mass. Clear? So suppose in case of NaCl, we have to calculate the formula unit mass of NaCl or sodium chloride. So we will first calculate the calculate for sodium atom and then for chlorine. Now here only two atoms is present, one is sodium and one is chlorine, so total number of atoms is 2. So sodium, its atomic mass will be 23. That means only one sodium is present, so 1 in 23, and one chlorine is present and atomic mass of chlorine will be 35.5. That means 23 plus 35.5, that means its value will be 58.5. So formula unit mass of sodium chloride will be 58.5. Clear? Next one, mole concept. Next, what is mole and mole concept? Now what is this mole concept? The mole is actually the amount of substance. Mole is actually the amount of substance which contains as many particles. The mole is the amount of substance which contains as many particles. Particles means it can be atoms, it can be ions, it can be molecules. So mole is the amount of substance which contains as many particles as in the 12 gram of carbon atom. As in the 12 gram of carbon atom. This is the definition of mole concept. So here in mole concept we have to take a respective of carbon atom. We will take the any mole, for example nitrogen, oxygen, or any other atom or any other element with respect to carbon atom. So it is the amount of substance which contain as many particles as in the case of 12 gram of carbon atom. This is the definition of mole. That is, it actually means the amount of substance. It actually means the amount of substance which contain as many particles. Amount of substance which contains as many particles as in 12 gram of carbon. That means in 12 gram of carbon the number of particles will be the same as in case of any other substance. That is the mole. So it will be termed as mole. Now here one important question is asked, what is Avogadro number? One important question is asked from mole concept, what is Avogadro number? Always remember the question is asked like this: write the value of Avogadro number. So the value of Avogadro number will be 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. Always remember the value of Avogadro number will be 6.022 into 10 to the power 3. This is the constant value. And it is known as Avogadro constant. Because actually this constant is actually discovered by an Italian scientist named Amedeo Avogadro. So in honor of that scientist Amedeo Avogadro, this constant is renamed as Avogadro constant or simply Avogadro number. It has a fixed value, a constant value, that is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. Now what is this Avogadro number? Avogadro number is actually the number of particles. Present in 1 mole of any substance. This Avogadro number is actually the number of particles. Number of particles means number of ions, number of molecules, can be number of atoms. So number of particles present in 1 mole of any substance. It is fixed. That is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. That means number of particles present in 1 mole of any substance, that is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. This number of particles is present in 1 mole of any substance, and this is fixed. If says in 2 mole of substance, so multiply it by 2, because 1 mole of substance number of particles is 6.02 into 10 to the power 23. That is Avogadro number. It is represented as NO. Avogadro number is represented as NO. So in 1 mole number of particles present is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. So in case of 2 mole, just multiply it by 2. In 3 mole substances, multiply it by 3, like this. So number of particles you can easily calculate. Next one, molar mass and moles. Molar mass. Now what is molar mass? Molar mass is actually the mass of 1 mole substance. mass of 1 mole substance. The mass of 1 mole of substance is actually the molar mass. So it is just basically the mass of 1 mole of substance. So 1 mole means number of particles will be the Avogadro number. In 1 mole of substance, the number of particles present in the Avogadro number, that means 6.022 into 10 to the 23, that is fixed. So mass of 1 mole of substance is actually the molar mass. Now this mass of 1 mole of substance is equal to its relative atomic mass. This mass of 1 mole substance is actually related to the relative atomic mass. That means the molar mass when atomic mass of an element, atomic mass is represented in gram. Atomic mass of an element when represented in gram unit, that is in gram unit, then it is said to be molar mass. Generally atomic mass unit is represented in AMU form or U form. That means in H2O, if we say H2O, the atomic mass unit of H2O will be 18U. It is the atomic mass unit of H2O or water or molecular mass unit. But if you say the molar mass of H2O, the molar mass of H2 will be 18 gram. That means just the symbol will replace. The symbol will replace. So atomic mass of water, atomic mass unit of water, atomic mass of water will be 18U. But if you represent this atomic mass in gram form, that means like 18 gram, it will be termed as molar mass. That means the molar mass is actually the gram atomic mass. That means atomic mass when represented in gram form or gram unit, it will be termed as molar mass. So its another name is gram atomic mass, molar mass or gram atomic mass. That means atomic mass when represented in gram unit, it will be termed as molar mass. Clear? That means if question is asked that write the molar mass of H2O or molar mass of water, we will say its molar mass is 18 gram, not 18U. 18U is the atomic mass unit. But when atomic mass unit is represented in molar mass, we will use gram instead of U. So molar mass will be of water will be 18 gram and atomic mass unit of water will be 18E. Clear? Now if question is asked that find out the number of particles present in 18 gram of water. Suppose question is like this, find out the number of particles present in 18 gram of water. So in 1 gram of water, number of particles will be Avogadro number, that means 6.022 into 10 to the 23. In 1 gram of water, number of particles will be 6.022 into 10 to the 23. Clear? So in 18 grams of water, the particles will be, so it is a 1 mole of water. In 1 mole of water, the number of particles or number of H2 molecules will be is Avogadro number in 1 mole of water. Now this 1 mole is actually the 18 gram. 1 mole means actually 18 gram because 1 mole is the molar mass. 1 mole is actually the molar mass because mole is the mole. What is mole? Mole is actually the sum of the atomic masses. Mole is actually the sum of the atomic masses. That means amount of substance present in the many particles, amount of substance which contains in the many particles. That means atoms, molecules or ions. Particles can be in any form. It can be in atomic form, it can be in ionic form, it can be in molecular form. So atomic mass is actually the mass atomic unit, or simply we can write is atomic mass or unit form. But whenever molar mass comes, it will be replaced in gram. It will be replaced in gram. So here 1 mole means 18 gram because 1 mole is actually the mole concept, and mole concept says the amount of substance which contains in many particles. So 1 mole of water means 18 gram of water. That means molecular mass or molar mass or gram atomic mass. So 1 mole of H2O contains this number of particles. That means 18 gram of water will also contains this number of particles because 1 gram means 1 mole of H2O means 18 gram of water. So this is all about molar mass. Clear? So this chapter is complete. We will now discuss some NCERT questions given in your textbook. Some NCERT questions, 2 or 3 NCERT questions, because in this chapter mostly numericals will come. Mostly numericals, 90% chance that numericals will come. and the chemical formula. So the first question from your NCERT textbook. So first question is, how many atoms are present in H2S molecule, number 1, and how many atoms are present in PO4 3- ion, 3- ion. So how many atoms are present? These are your NCERT textbook questions. So how many ions are present, how many atoms are present in H2S molecule? So here 3 atoms are present, number of hydrogen atom is 2 and number of oxygen atom is 1. So total number of atoms is 2 plus 1, that is 3 atoms are present. So in H2S molecule, total number of atoms will be 2 plus 1, that means 3. Next, PO4 3- ion, here total number of atoms will be P, that is phosphorus, so only 1 phosphorus atom is present, 1, and 4 oxygen atom is present, so 1 plus 4, that is 5. Total number of total number of atoms in PO4 3- ion will be 5. Clear? Next question number 2. Question number 2 says, calculate the formula unit mass. We have to calculate the formula unit mass of ZnO, that is zinc oxide, Na2O and K2CO3. This is also your NCERT textbook questions. Formula unit mass of ZnO, Na2O and K2CO3. Clear? Now first one, ZnO. You have to calculate the formula unit mass. So formula unit of mass of ZnO will be, now formula unit mass of zinc and formula unit mass of oxygen. We will then add up to find out the formula unit mass of ZnO. Now formula unit mass of zinc is 65. Formula unit mass of zinc is 65 and oxygen, it is 16. Oxygen is 16 U, that means 81 U. So formula unit mass of zinc ZnO or zinc oxide will be 81 U. Next, Na2O formula unit mass. So formula unit mass of sodium. So formula unit mass of sodium is 23. That is for one sodium atom. But here 2 sodium atom is present. That means total formula unit mass of will be 2 into 23 and 1 oxygen atom is present. So formula unit mass will be 16 U. So this is 46 plus 16 U. So your answer will be 62 U. Clear? Next one, K2CO3. This one is important. K2CO3. So potassium. So formula unit mass of potassium is 39 for one potassium atom. But here 2 potassium atoms is present. That means 2 into 39. Carbon atom. 1 carbon atom is present and formula unit of 1 carbon atom is 12. That means 12 into 1 and oxygen is 16. Formula unit mass of oxygen is 16 for 1 oxygen atom and there are 3 oxygen atoms is present. That means 3 into 16. That means this is 78, this is 12, this is 48. So 78 plus 12 plus 48, that means 90 plus 40, 130 and 8, 138. So 138. So formula unit mass will be 138. So write here formula unit mass. Just write here formula unit mass. Clear? This is 138. So like this we can easily calculate formula unit mass. Next, question number 3. Question number 3, we have to find out some chemical formula. This is also given in your NCERT textbook question. Formula unit of magnesium hydroxide. We have to find out the formula unit of magnesium hydroxide. Find out the formula unit of magnesium hydroxide. So first we will write symbol and then valency as usual. So symbol of magnesium is Mg and hydroxide symbol is OH. Now valency of magnesium is +2 and hydroxide is -1. Then just cross multiply. So final formula will be Mg and this is OH whole 2. So MgOH whole 2 is the final formula of magnesium hydroxide. Clear? Last question, NCERT question number 4. So we have given some compounds. And we have to write their names. So first compound given is Al2SO4 whole 3. We have to find out the name of this compound, Al2SO4 whole 3. So this is the formula of aluminium sulfate. because this is the formula of aluminium and this is sulfate. So formula is aluminium sulfate. So its name will be aluminium sulfate. Aluminium sulfate. Clear? Next, given as CaCl2. Now Ca means it is calcium and Cl this is chloride. So formula is calcium chloride. Calcium chloride. Next given K2. Next one given as K2SO4. Now K2 means, K means potassium and SO4 this is sulfate. So potassium sulfate is the formula. So its name will be potassium sulfate. Next formula renamed as KNO3. So K is potassium and NO3 it is nitrate. So formula is potassium nitrate. Potassium nitrate. Last formula given CaCO3. Now Ca is calcium and CO3 is carbonate. So formula is calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate. It is calcium carbonate. Clear? So these are some important questions from your NCERT textbook. So this chapter is complete. Clear? In the next session we will start a new chapter. Clear? Thank you.